tomatoes probably about a week ago, and we haven't watered them since. Actually, we got one rain, a little rain, so that helps some, but it's definitely time we should water the tomatoes. They're under the protection here, and they actually are doing pretty well, but I'm sure they'd appreciate a drink of water. Now that is actually a little more challenging than it sounds here at the farm. I don't have water at the farm. I don't have a well, I don't have county water or anything at the farm yet. In fact, I don't even have electricity yet. I'm meeting with the power company next week to hopefully get that in the process. But I do have one thing that I'm going to use to my advantage, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. It is about 7:30 at night when we're watering here, and that really helps the plant absorb all the water versus any loss from evaporation. So that's the best time to water, probably, either night or early in the morning. So let me go show you my secret asset the farm does have that's going to really help me water these plants. So I have 3 assets that's going to help me water my tomatoes. First asset are 2 strong boys. Second asset, rubber boots. Third asset, a wonderful stream. Well, I'm about a week away from my last frost date, so I'm going to go ahead and take a chance and plant some of my warm weather crops. Specifically, I'm going to direct sow some squash today. Squash is warm weather, prefers warm weather, but I think I can get away with this. Today I'm planting a yellow straight neck variety. Variety type is Enterprise. I've already prepared my row that I'm going to plant the squash in. What I've done is lightly tilled over it this morning, which would do away with any germinating weed seeds. Next, I'm going to go and make mounds or hills and plant 2 or 3 seeds per hill and space the hills about 8 feet apart, 4 to 8 feet apart for my squash. Now, squash are heavy feeder, and since I have about an acre to plant, not of all squash, fertilizer is becoming very expensive for me. So what I have done is harvested some free fertilizer. A local horse stable near me allowed me to come and get a truckload of horse manure, which I'm going to be using along with some of my organic fertilizer just as an insurance policy. Well, I have measured off the hills, and I have 8 feet in between the hills. I've actually marked the hills with just a scoop of manure, just so I know where I want the hills to be. I managed to get 7 hills in on my 50-foot row. So now that I've marked them, let's go and build the hills and fertilize them and plant the seed. Now that I've come to where I've marked for my squash plant, I'm going to add a couple more shovels of manure. Now this manure is aged manure. I would not use fresh manure or else it could burn the plants. After that, I take my hoe and mound up dirt around it. Actually, I add fertilizer. Don't let me forget that. I'm just adding a small pinch because the manure is very rich in nutrients, obviously, so they should be pretty happy with that. Now I've made the hill, I'll flatten the top. Take out my seeds and plant 3 per hill. Now, since this pack of seeds contains 20 seeds and I have 7 hills, I'm only going to be able to do 3 per hill for 6 of them. The last hill will only get 2. Now, I'm supposed to plant these 1 inch deep, and I know what 1 inch is because it's about to my first knuckle. So I can just press the seed down to my first knuckle and it goes in at the right depth. Now, since I have a whole row of here, I'm afraid that these will dry out and kind of blend in. I'm actually marking all the hills as I go. So I'm taking a landscape flag and just sticking it in the middle. So that when I come out here, it'll be easy to spot the hills. Let's go to the next one. All right, just like we did the squash, we also did some other plants that require hills. We planted 11 hills of cantaloupe, Scoop 2 variety, which I've grown before. Then I did 7 hills of a different type of bush squash called Delica. It is a winter squash. I'm anxious to try that. After that, we have 7 hills of watermelon. Chelsea is the variety type. It's an heirloom, I believe. After that, we have 7 hills of Spineless Beauty zucchini. And finally, we have 7 hills of pumpkins, Autumn Gold. So we'll have to see how all these turn out. Also, I put in 1 row of buckwheat. That's actually between the potatoes and the first thing of the Scoop 2 cantaloupe. So the buckwheat will come up. It will make a good crop to attract beneficial insects, as well as after it blooms, I'll till it into the earth and I'll add a lot of biomass to the soil. So it's a win-win proposition.